Let's talk making patterns. Once you've drawn your pattern out, and depending on how flexible you are, because I'm not very good at colouring between the lines, so this pattern will be adjusted as I go. Haha. Now, you generally would use two patterns, one to construct on and adjust, and one where you've traced all the pieces and cut them out. So if you look at this, you can see all these black lines. When I've traced it all out, I want to cut all those black lines off because they're my grout lines. I get this clear plastic stuff that's matte on one side, shiny on the other, and it's scraps offered by our local office works where they do laminating for business, of course, and they give away their scraps for craft. So really get whatever you want. It can be paper, cardboard, however you want to get your pattern done. So with this one, the beauty of this is, of course, it's transparent. And you can trace the whole lot. I might go on the, not the shiny side, because I'll rub it all off. And I'll just trace one piece. Imagine the whole lot is traced. You don't want to watch me do this. Oops. See, I can't even draw a straight line. How am I going to cut a straight line? So I'll just pick this piece because I'll demo the cutting of this piece here. And the numbers, when you've done a whole lot and you've got to put the puzzle back together, depending on the size of the puzzle pieces and where they might fit, you'll get lots of things that look similar. You want to be able to put it back together. So we number them as we go. It's a stained glass technique. The other thing you can do is, for those who like to use either sticky mesh or mesh, you can put a piece of plastic over the top of this, put your mesh over the top of this and start sticking. You can do that. Sticky mesh you would potentially use for doing a double. Sticky mesh you'd probably use if you're going to do a double direct method or a double indirect method. Let's just forget about that altogether. And of course, if you were going to do mesh or something similar to that technique, where you would put a piece of plastic, Glad wrap or something like that across the top of your pattern, then you would put your fiberglass mesh over the top, cut out all your pieces and start to construct it that way, whether you glue it on, some people will turn it into a tile. There's a gazillion ways to put this together and it just depends what you're doing with it. So when we go to cut this, what do I mean by cut the grout lines off? Given I can't draw it straight, of course, we're back to kindy. We want to cut that grout line off, because then when we trace the pattern, which we'll see in the next snippet for cutting, we actually get something that will be similar to this, barring breakages, that will fit. So I generally do cut and fit, rather than let me cut out, what have I got here, 27 pieces of white stuff. That will all need to be readjusted. I readjust as I go. Okay. So then you can save all your pattern pieces and reuse them at a later date, should you come up with a design that's going to be used to make lots of things. For instance, if you sell stuff at a market, perhaps you make little birds on a stick, then you'll want to keep the pattern pieces. So you can see I'm a little bit out of the line here, but I won't worry about that because who knows how these tiles are going to cut. So there you have your pattern pieces. Have a go. I'm going to start by doing the biggest pieces first, because all the scraps from those will be used for the littler pieces because it's tile. I'm not used to tile, and I'm probably going to have a lot of waste for my first proper tile mosaic that has to follow some guidelines. Also a challenge for me. So please enjoy making your pattern.